Hello, humans, and welcome back to Ask Addie. I'm Addison Smith. I'm a writer and activist who lives with an annoying cat. A few years ago, a friend of mine, well, a Facebook friend of mine, which could be anyone from a close personal friend you'd take a bullet for to some random weirdo who sent you a request that you couldn't think of a good reason to deny, but you never intend on meeting that person. Yeah, someone on that spectrum wrote a post about an encounter she had at a bar. She's a trans woman, and there was another woman at the bar who was, of course, cis, white, and straight, who was insisting on calling her a word that is considered very rude to say to a trans woman. It's a pejorative, it's an insult, it's basically the N word for trans people. My friend, who wrote about trying to explain that to this woman, but she said, no, it's not. I can call you that because I'm an ally, and I've heard trans women call each other that, or something to that effect. The woman simply wouldn't listen to the person she was insulting with her words. Sadly, this isn't an isolated incident. I've heard and read many accounts of people, sometimes well-meaning people, who simply don't listen to the people an issue affects because they think they know better. They basically say, let me tell you what it's like being you. And it's not just about trans issues, but sexuality, race, disability, you name it. People outside those groups sometimes think they know better than those poor people in them. Please. So that's why I was kind of excited to receive this question. Can you explain the differences between the terms transgender, transvestite, transsexual, trans, and what are considered derogatory or offensive? When I grew up, some of these didn't exist yet, and some are now considered offensive, so I hope you can explain the difference to me. K. Wash. Imagine that, someone wanting to understand an issue so they can avoid a misunderstanding. Thank you, K. Wash. So let's break this down, and we'll use a traffic light to help explain all this. It's a rather obvious metaphor, but it works. Your green light terms are transgender and its short form, trans. These are the terms that are accepted within the community and in medical and psychological sciences. Transgender simply means the gender that one knows oneself to be is different than what others may call them based on their biology. We're not going into the ins and outs of all of that, but to answer your question, you're generally safe calling someone transgender or trans. Some non-binary or gender non-conforming people may not want that term applied to them, and they'll let you know, so respect that if they do. The yellow light term here is transsexual. This is an older term from the medical books that has been supplanted by transgender. The reason it's fallen out of favor is that transsexual focuses on the body or changes of the body, while transgender is about the mind, so it's a much more inclusive of the gender diverse community. That being said, there are some people who do prefer to be called transsexual. These are usually people who either have had or wish to have gender confirmation surgery, and they want to differentiate themselves from trans people who don't have that desire. In general, don't call someone transsexual unless they tell you that they prefer that term. If they do, listen to them and respect that. The red light terms, the ones you should stay away from when talking to trans folks, is transvestite and its short form, the term I've been avoiding, tranny. And that's the last time I'm going to be saying that. A transvestite is a cisgender person, usually a man, who often has a really traditional understanding of gender and dresses in clothes normally associated with the opposite sex, at times as a way to be subversive or as some kind of sexual fetish. The classic example people think of is a man in a dress, and in the case of a transvestite, it really is. A person who identifies as a man wearing a dress as a gag or a kink is a transvestite. When you call a trans person that, especially a trans woman, what you're really saying is that they are not who they say they are. You are saying that you know them better than they know themselves, that there is something wrong with them. You are denying their identity, even their very existence. You are saying that they are just a man in a dress trying to get a thrill. If you want to show respect for trans people, expunge this word from your mind. Okay, K-Wash, I hope that answers your question. and anybody else who had those questions. Hope it answered yours. The only thing left for this episode is the business stuff, so take it away, me. Thanks, me. And thanks everyone for watching this episode of Ask Addy. If you want to see more, be sure to click like and subscribe and tap the little bell to find out when new episodes are released. Do it. Tap it. Want to hear your question on future Ask Addy? Then drop me a line at questions@addisonsagenda.com. And speaking of my website, addisonsagenda.com, you can go there to find out how to book me to give a talk at your company or organization, either virtually or in person now. Check out my blog on Medium, where you'll find a variety of articles. Coming soon, you'll be able to subscribe to even more videos, writing, behind-the-scenes content, political and social commentary, photos of my cat, chapters of my upcoming book, and more on a Patreon page. I'll let you know when that's up and running. If you'd like to leave a tip, you can Venmo me at Addison's Agenda. Links to all this are in the description. Until next time, I'm Addison Smith. Peace and long life.